I don't have anything specific. I find it pretty interesting. Um, um, when I wrote down what prevents us from moving into the divine sense, but I didn't finish that. I didn't get it at the end. The last part of that. Um, but I know Beth said a lack of understanding and fear and uh and I think too is where you're at on your journey, on your path, whether you're ready, to take that leap. And again, it could be fear or lack of understanding, but um I guess that's generally what, I was agreeing with Beth, what Beth was saying.
Okay. Would you like to add any thoughts, Ken?
I could use some rational thoughts so I can balance my checkbook when I've got other things on my mind.
Other things on your mind?
Something else occurred to me, and I think this might be off topic, but it amazes me people who don't have a sense of wonder, who don't, it's like, well, this is life and this is all there is to it. They have no pull to seek for any greater understanding. It's absent within them.
Well,
And I just must be as much of a queer duck to them, because that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, we're assuming that everybody's moving in the same direction as we are, right? What was it? I think it was Loveland that wrote, all mediums think everybody gets it the same way until they start comparing notes and discover everybody's different. Well, that's a part of human nature. We all make that assumption. But this is what came to mind as I was working on this. We have the teachings of the Lords of Light, which are intended to move us into a refined state of being. However, they are only teachings, and because they are only teachings, they lack a certain quality. So before we get to that quality that they are lacking, this is all good food for thought, right? And what is it that thoughts tend to do? Anybody?
If you're smiling, say something.
Oh, but you mean in one ear, out the other? If I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget it. If I do write it down, I forget where I put it.
Getting back to these teachings, what is it that thoughts do?
They wander.
So all this food for thoughts that we've been gathering up and putting in the cupboard fits right in with what you had just described as your experience. We put it in the cupboard, we go to the cupboard, we open the cupboard up, and it's gone. So let me ask this question again. What prevents us from moving into a refined state of being?
I would say because such a creature of habit. Opening the cupboard. Creature of habit.
We open the cupboard and all that food is what?
Gone.
Exactly.
It's been misplaced. It's put someplace else.
Exactly. I read a lot, obviously. Let me share this little bit with you. this is when I was working. I was reading, I think I was reading this big tome of Buddhism in America. I could be mistaken. It could have been something else. I know it was a Buddhist writing. So I've got my feet propped up on the cart and I'm leaning back in my chair and everything. And I'm reading it. And I'm making my little notes and I'm putting it on the page, the little post-it notes. And this voice whispers in my ear, Philip, eventually you're going to have to put into practice what it is that you're reading. Is any of this starting to make sense? Good. So what is it that I'm sharing? People hate it when I do that.
It doesn't really matter how much we read or how much we might pontificate or puzzle over a question until we put it in action. Number one, it's not going to stick, and we're not going to get any answers. We can get I supposes, but we're really not going to find out anything until we practice, until we experiment. I haven't been doing my experiments lately, so.
They are only teachings, and because they are only teachings, they lack a certain quality. The quality they lack is found in their application. Teachings are worthless unless they are applied. We receive teachings through various means and we hold on to them until they make sense. But until they are applied, they are utterly worthless. Does that make sense? Reverend Thomas? Sandy? Yeah, makes sense?
Absolutely. It's putting it into practice is the key. You can read about changing your bad habits as much as you want, or becoming prosperous, or how to build a good business, and if you never actually have the experience of actually doing it, that's where you reap the harvest, is in the experience.
Exactly.
I have to say that I've used it, I'm too hard on myself, but I've used what I know in the last week. When you asked me what happened in the last week, I just totally forgot. Everything was gone, but it's come back to me. Anyhow, I was getting a massage at the chiropractor's office, and this gal was working on me, and I got to know her really well. And I noticed she was cracking up. She was like breaking down. She was going into tear land. And I responded really good. I'm proud of myself because I really ministered to her right there. And we both ended up in tears. And we had a really good talk. She let it all out. What happened? Her best friend died yesterday, blah, blah. And as I was leaving, I always leave her a big fat tip because I like women, so I want to be liked. So I give her a big fat tip. And I said to her, she told me she's going out to eat and get something that she wants by herself, blah, 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 blah. And I said, so you're saying that you're going to lunch by yourself and you're going to get something that you want? And she said, yes. And I said, well, do you want to be alone? She said, no. Best pickup line I ever had. So away we went, and we met at Salsa's Mexican, blah, blah, over there. Great time. Both were in tears almost the whole way through it, but we got it all. We got it out. And I was proud of myself for ministering to her as well as I did. And I said, I'm glad I was here for you. And I'm glad you were here for me. And it worked. It was really good. It was a really good experience. And I'd never been, it was the second time I've been at Salsa's Mexican Grill. It was very good.
Cool. Cool. Pickup line, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I'll have to take some notes.
You were. Do you want to be alone? No.
So when we are sitting in class, we must understand what is being taught. And what is the best way to understand what is being taught? Sandy?
By listening, being engaged, being
Being
focused,
engaged. What is being engaged?
focused, receptive.
Okay. How many of you remember Welcome Back, Cotter? All right. Does this seem familiar? Oh, exactly. What is it that Hurtak's acting all the time? He. Anybody?
Oh, he engaged, to use Sandy's term. He asked questions.
Yes. He asked questions. You have to ask questions if you don't understand something. When does fear go away? Oh man, this guy really taught me some stuff here. I don't know if I can do this. But if you hold up your hand and say, hey, teach, how can I do this? And the teach goes, well, try doing this. You ask questions. Questions help you understand. That's why we don't hold services here. We hold class. You ask questions. You take me off topic.
Yes.
But you still ask questions.
I still remember Reverend Thomas saying, he was speaking about something, he said, some of you are off put by the word church. I didn't say anything, but you have to get, well, I am. In fact, when I tell somebody where I'm going, I say I'm going to a lecture. I don't say I'm going to church. Sorry, that's what it is. I equate church with fundamentalists, okay? That's my problem. And so anyhow, why I say that, I don't know, but it seemed to fit in.
That's typically what church is a lecture. I go to these ISA meetings in morning service. Our president at the time steps up to the podium and starts going on about what it's like being human, how much of a curse it is to be human. We're imperfect, we're no good, we're this, we're that. And you know what I did?
Did you walk out?
Yes.
Really?
I got up and I walked out.
You little
Good
rebel.
Lord, terrific. Proud of you.
Because, and these are just my thoughts. People come to a church to be uplifted, not to be beaten down, to be told they're worthless, to be told they're no good, to be told they have to do this if they want to be better. They have, people come to church feeling like that. But how much better is it when they walk away feeling so much better than that? Makes good sense to me.
I just read a spiritual writer that said the whole problem in the Bible is going back to Genesis and that thing in the garden and the guilt trip they try to put you on right there, and they keep beating you over the head like a cudgel beating you over the head with that. And what I read is it's a mistranslation. Look, you're not a bad person. Eating the apple didn't hurt anybody or anything. The snake means nothing. Why do you beat yourself up like this? But that's what they do. They use that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Fear is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, bingo.
Fear is a wonderful thing. We can use it as a message. Fear. Hey, you don't know enough about this to go do this. Me? Good point. Maybe I should get some training. Or fear. You don't know anything. You're worthless. You're not kind. Give me some money. That's what some of the religions are about. They prey on fear. They don't take fear away. They're no different than the politicians. And now I'm getting off topic.
Welcome to the club.
So. The teachings of the Lords of Light are pre-physical until acted upon. And only then do they become experienced, birthed into the physical realm. The lesson here is that sometimes you need to understand the purpose, and other times understanding does not occur until you put the teaching into action and experience it. That one quality, before I get into that one quality, Sandy, do you have any thoughts you'd like to add to this?
Well, I certainly agree with everything you've just been saying, and that the message is often fear. And it's been, I guess recently more than ever that I've been really trying to address that, because I just don't want fear in the way. You know, it's just in the way. And it's not, I feel like it's not real. And why, if I accept that, I give it the power, and then it can take me over because I'm giving it that energy. So I just don't want it, you know. I mean, and I do see it everywhere, that, you know, and the term love over fear, but we don't apply it enough, I don't think. And I think sometimes it's at a point now where people just accept the fear because they don't know what else to do. And that's where we, you know, we have to stand up to it. So I guess that's that this has really been on my mind a lot for the last few months. So it's a great timing to address it. But it really, I just kind of feel like I see it everywhere in the way that people talk and what they say, and the hatred and the judgment, and it's all out of fear. And I just see it everywhere anymore. And you know, you said something about being with like people that think like you, or that have that feeling of uplifting. They can really bring you down in a heartbeat. So it is, you kind of always have to be aware of it and just kind of try to divorce yourself from that emotion. And I hope it's getting better, because I hope it's not worse. I hope things are getting better.
I wouldn't say divorce yourself from fear, but I will say try to understand the message that it's bringing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it's all emotions are messages from the brain saying, hey, something's happening. Fear, hey, you don't belong here. Hey, you don't understand. Hey, you need to do something. It's never run.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, there's that fight or flight, but, you know, it's never run. That's a rationalization. Ooh, I can't handle this. I do that. So I wouldn't say divorce yourself from fear, but I would recommend try to understand it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Beth, what are your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts are everywhere right now.
Thank you, so running good.
But kind of getting back to it doesn't have a quality until it's applied, or it's elusive until it's applied. It made me realize I haven't done my experiments, my meditative experiments. Last week, no, the last time I was here, so it'd been 2 weeks ago. We were talking about the Om chanting.
Yeah.
So I went on a delightful little Google search, which just takes you into even more delightful Google searches, and I came upon, and I wrote all this stuff down on a card, I should have brought it with me, about the tonal frequencies. In this hertz range, it does this, and this frequency helps this, da, 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 da. And I wrote it all down on a card, and they called it something chord, begins with an S, has about 3 or 4 syllables, I can't pronounce, and it is, snuggle up with those chord or
I
something
know what
like that.
it is. Solfeggio frequency.
There you go.
SOLFEGGIO.
Yes,
You know,
so when did they come up with that?
you should know that.
But anyway, so type in that term, click, oh, YouTube has a whole thing of these tonal meditations, each hertz range, or what a frequency.
Frame what?
And it's like, I'm gonna start practicing that. Have I done it? No,
No.
but I took the first step. Thank God for Google. Thank God for a search engine, I should say. I just have to use Google. But it does, it's almost like ink blot readings. Where these searches can take you, what catches your eye,
Yeah, it is.
what link you click on next.
It's amazing.
So, but anyway, so that's just a reminder, I need to apply that. It interested me, well, I need to apply it, I need to do an experiment. So it's next on my agenda. Monday's gonna be a big day.
Any thoughts you'd like to add, Ken?
I've got a lot of things I could talk about, but I think I've said enough, so I think I'll save it for next time.
All right. So we have the teachings of the Lords of Light, which are intended to move us into a refined state of being. However, they are only teachings. And because they are only teachings, they lack a certain quality. And the quality they lack is found in their applications. Teachings are worthless until they are applied. And I want to thank you all for your contributions, your thoughts, your questions. I want to thank you for allowing me to share this with you.
Great discussion.
Good.
Lightly.
Get on everything.